My name is Kang, and today Group 5 presents our case study. These are the list of the group members. Our presentation will cover 5 parts: introduction, literature review, methodology, results, and conclusion. We aim to show how Kaizen Kata improve healthcare quality and what lessons could be applied in management. Thank you, and we will now begin with the so the Mexico hospital is currently facing several operational issues, including service delay, shortage of essential medical equipment, increasing patient complaint, and inconsistent internal processes. These problems reduce service quality and create stress for both staff and patients. To address this, we will need a structured improvement method that is simple, effective, and sustainable. So the goal here is to apply Kaizen for continuous small improvement and improvement kata for a systematic problem-solving approach. Kaizen will help team identify waste and optimize daily work, while kata will guide us through 4 steps. Define the goal as at the current state, set a target conditions, and run rapid BDCA experience. By combining both methods, the hospital can reduce delay, improve equipment availability, standardize processes, and deliver better patient care.
Hi everyone, today I will introduce Kaizen Kata and their role in lean healthcare. First, Kaizen continuous improvement. Kaizen comes from Japan and focus on more consistent improvement to reduce waste, enhance quality, and standardize workflows. It's more than a tool set, it's a mindset. If we learn from Vietnam Soda, Kaizen boost productivity, quality stability, and staff engagement. Second, kata. Kata means repeat routines that build scientific thinking. This routine helps staff identify problems, test solutions, and run research. In Mexican Bullet Hospital, kata help reduce waiting time, improve workflow efficiency, and train them problem solving. Next, improvement kata is for steps. Understand the direction, challenge, grab the current condition, set the target condition, and run rapid BDCA cycles. Mm, this is supported by a step improvement model from identify in problem to standardizing and sharing learning with trained disciplined problem solving. Finally, in healthcare, lean remove waste, reduce overall, and streamline patient flow is both best when combined with Kata. Lean provide philosophy and Kata provide daily improvement behavior. Together, they help healthcare system shift from reactive to proactive.
So I'm going to talk briefly about why healthcare system need Kaizen and how Kaizen models around the world help reduce waiting time, complaints, and reward. Across many countries, hospitals are under heavy pressure. Patients wait for hours, processes are slow, and complicated equipment is not always available, and the same mistake happen again and again. Because of this, many research suggests applying lean thinking and Kaizen in hospital. Kaizen means continuous step-by-step improvement. This idea is to remove waste, for example, unnecessary waiting, duplicate paperwork, working back and forth without purpose, or doing tests and document again because of errors. By focus on small daily improvement, Kaizen help hospital respond faster and keep the patient at the center of care. International students show that Kaizen really works in practice. In Sweden, Kaizen's pace improvement programs help standardize examination and treatment process, remove redundant steps, and use resources more efficiently. As a result, hospital reports fewer errors, fewer complaints, and smoother patient flow. In Brazil, one hospital that applied Kaizen redesigned its patient and equipment flow and managed to cut waiting time from about 2 hours to only 30 minutes, reduce the space needed for the operation, and save several hours of overtime every day. Researchers also emphasize that Kaizen is not only about tools, but also about culture and leadership. Staff are trained and encouraged to identify problems, suggest ideas, and solve them directly at the workplace. Leaders use methods like Gemba works and Shimbo plan do check act cycle to support this improvement and monitor key indicators such as waiting time errors and complaints.
Anh em case 72 and now I will present about the next session. The methods has been used on multiple case studies in three public hospitals in Mexico, conducted from May to December 2019. The main components are theoretical sampling, direct and participative observation, documentary analysis, self-structure interview, and tracing data analytical tools including Fixit, Formato, CC01, and Action Plan. The purpose of this design is to conduct an in-depth investigation of patient data implementation to understand how and why it affects on hospital operations. Theoretical sampling were used because the hospital was selected based on theoretical relevance with criteria such as equal or over 3 year using ISO or TQM, committed leadership, and participation in national healthcare projects. Direct observation lasts 8 months with 2 sessions per week, focusing on workflow mapping, bottlenecks, error, and deviation, and staff habits. Participative observation will include central working sessions, such as problem analysis meetings, process sharing sessions, root cause discussion, and improvement plan presentation. Documentary analysis include ISO 9000 records, manual, training material, error logs, and delay reports, helping identify the gap between the standards and the actual practice. The next one is semi-structured interviews. There were 14 interviews with doctors, technicians, administrative staff, and team leaders, focusing on the application of patient data and the use of available assessment and UCL. Last one is the patient data analysis. The patient data analysis will follow from the step. Step 1 is checks. The team records frequency data for several months, covering 8 types of operational consequences to create a quantitative baseline. The second step is parameter analysis. Parameter chart will identify the top 4 to 5 consequences causing 80% of the failure. For example, in case A is 4 major consequences, case B is 5, and case C is 4 to 5 major consequences. The third step is asynchronous diagram. The root causes will look under people, processes, machines or equipment, materials, environment, and policy or management. The common issue will include lack of standard, poor documentation, no inventory system, and inadequate training. The last step is improvement planning. The countermeasures were developed from root causes and tested using iterative Kaizen data business cycles, emphasizing small, consistent, and measurable improvements.
We move to the result. On this slide, we summarize the overall finding. KAIZEN is used as a systematic quality management approach to chronic service issues like long delays, complaint inquiries, process breakdown, and weak service performance. Each hospital chooses the one critical to quality process: emergency admission, outpatient consultation, or the drug supply for cystic fibrosis, and apply the 8-step Kaizen Kata routine to understand the problem, identify the root cause, and implement concrete improvement actions. Finally, in conclusion, from a quality management perspective, this shows that Kaizen Kata is a practical framework for service organization, not just manufacturing. By combining basic tools like Pareto, Shikawa, 5S, and Kanban with more interactive experiments, the hospital reduced waiting times, complaints, rework, and process verification, moving closer to right first time performance and lower value cost. However, the study is based on only 3 Mexican public hospitals. The results depend a lot on culture, bureaucracy, and prior quality programs. So the authors recommend testing Kaizen Kata in other countries and sectors, and exploring how it works with digital technologies such as ERP system and electronic medical records.
Moving on to the section 6, let's look at the technical comparison of the methodologies. First, regarding the scope and the design, there is a clear contrast. Article manufacturing is quantitative and single study case focused on the technical adjustments and winding machine. Dragon is strictly physical waste reduction. However, the article 2 is about the healthcare and is a qualitative and multiple case study across 3 hospitals. It focuses on human routines and how Kaizen Kata methods solve operational delays. For the manufacturing context, in Article 1, the tools are hardware focused on methodology, combines Kaizen Kata with preventive maintenance. The matrix They track machine reliability, use MTBFM and MTTR. About the tools, they use bit analysis to balance machine RPM and Ishikawa diagrams to categorize physical effects. Conversely, Article 2 focuses on the process and behavior methodology applies Kaizen kata improve routines and the matrix. They measure the level of application and the method of the methodology using radar charts. About the tools, they use diagram Pareto to prioritize service and failures to checklist and to track complaints. Finally, look at the result. Article 1, by adjusting machine parameters and maintenance frequency, they achieve a 1% reduction in waste and lower the defect rate to 0.28%. However, in Article 2, process data by forming Kaizen kata teams, 50% of the teams fully resolved their operational problems. They identified that leadership and discipline were the critical drivers for the set. Thank you for your attention. Here is our presentation.